Today's shloka is 2.70. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. So please recite after me. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham
Apuryamanam achala pratishtham
samudramapah pravishanti yadvat
samudramapah pravishanti yadvat
tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve
kamayam pravishanti sarve
sashantimapnoti na kamakami. So because this
Mataji, one doubt. Tadvat kama yam pravishanti or yam pravishanti?
tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve.
It is followed by pra, no? F or yam? Yam.
No, it is M only. It is not a visarga, no?
Okay.
This visarga is here, followed by the pa, so you're going to pronounce it as an F.
Okay.
Samudramapah pravishanti yad.
Samudramapah pravishanti
okay.
pravishanti yadvat.
Shall we
Tadvat
do it now?
kamayam pravishanti sarve.
So I will recite. You can please follow. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. Once more. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami.
Kami
Word for word meaning and
Purnamaanam
translation
Achala Pratistam.
by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Apuryamanam,
Apuryamanam.
always being filled.
Always being
Achala Pratishtam,
Pradishtam.
steadily situated.
Steadily situated.
Samudram,
Samudram.
the ocean.
Ocean.
Apaha,
Apaha. Waters.
waters. Pravishanti,
Pravishanti.
enter.
Enter.
Yadvata,
Yadvata.
as. Tadvata,
Tadvata.
so.
So.
Kamaha,
Kamaha.
desires.
Desires.
Yam, unto whom.
To whom?
Pravishanti,
Pravishanti.
enter.
Enter.
Sarve,
Sarve.
all.
All.
Saha,
Saha.
that person.
That person.
Shantim, peace.
Peace.
Apnoti, achieves.
Achieves.
Na,
Not.
not. Kamakami,
Kamakami.
one who desires to fulfill desires.
One who desires.
Translation. A person who is not disturbed
A person who is not disturbed
by the incessant flow of desires
by the incessant desires
that enter like rivers into the ocean,
that enters like rivers into the ocean,
which is ever being filled
ever being filled,
but is always still,
but is always still,
can alone achieve peace,
and alone achieves peace,
and not the man
and not the man
who strives to satisfy such desires.
who strives to satisfy such desires.
So, what is Lord Krishna saying? He's using a metaphor, an analogy. So, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, desires are very normal for a human being. Our mind is always going to concoct so many desires because your senses are alive. Your eyes are seeing things, your nose is smelling things, your ear is hearing things, your mouth is trying to taste things, your hands are trying to touch things. So it's only very normal for a human being to have desires. But then Krishna is also saying we have to be careful because these desires are endless. How endless? It's like a river that is constantly flowing. But this river is actually flowing into the ocean. So even though the river is constantly flowing into the ocean is undisturbed. It stays still. So if you compare the senses to the rivers, you could say probably the mind and intelligence should be like the ocean, unperturbed and undisturbed. So Lord Krishna is saying here that a person who is able to regulate his mind and intelligence, no matter how many desires may pop up in his mind, he's not going to be disturbed. And because he does not get easily disturbed because of these material desires, Krishna says only such a person can achieve peace. Not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. So the thing is for us, as we keep hearing about the scriptures and hearing the messages from the Lord, whether it is contained in the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam or in Chaitanya Charitamrita. As we keep hearing what Krishna has to tell us, what is the instructions that he is giving us, at some point in time, you will come to a stage after following the instructions of the Acharya, of chanting, reading, etc. At some point in time, you will realize that you are no longer tempted by desires that you earlier used to succumb to. You will be able to exercise a little bit more restraint or a lot more restraint on your desires that are always coming into your mind, tempting you to satisfy them. When you reach that stage where you're able to control your responses to the desires that come, Krishna says at that point in time, you will have peace. As we were discussing in yesterday's Gita Sandesh class, our biggest enemy is ourself, our thoughts. We have to fight our thoughts. You know, sometimes we think very negatively. Sometimes we think out of envy, out of greed. So if we can control our thoughts or not succumb to our thoughts, that's where the solution lies. The solution is inside you. It is not that somebody else has to change their behavior for you. You have to change yourself. When you change yourself, other people will not disturb you. Or other people's activities that you otherwise would have found irritating, annoying, will not disturb you anymore. Sometimes you may succumb to responding to what other people may say. But if you're honestly practicing, earnestly practicing, sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, this will be the result. You will be able to exercise a greater deal of self-control over your own thoughts and desires. So that is why this is called self-realization, right? You're not trying to get somebody else to realize their self. We all have to realize ourselves. That is why this entire process is called self-realization. Why are we creating so many problems for ourselves? It's because we are not able to control our thoughts and desires. So learning self-control first through the process of bhakti yoga is the best way and the easiest way to achieve peace. So that is Krishna's statement here. And he's using the analogy of rivers flowing into the ocean to tell us how rivers are going to be there in our mind, but our response should be like that of the ocean, to stay still and not breach the boundaries. So this is the essence of today's shloka 2.70.